Okay, I'm going to record how to create a VM. Now my screen is going to look a little bit different than yours because I've already clustered my nodes together. We're going to wait on that, or we're going to do that a little bit later. But anyway, you log into your first node, proxmox node, and you should already be able to see, and mine's a little different again, but you should already have it connected to the ISO storage. And that's it for now, and it should just say ISO image. You'd also have local and local LVM. And so these are, you probably won't have a separate NFS share yet. You'll have one NFS share connected to my ISO. Anyway, right now we'll just use the NFS share to grab disk images off that we want to install. And then we will install them. As you look down here, I can install them to my local LVM, because it says I can store disk images there, I can store containers there. Let's look at this one. So on just the local directory, I can store ISO images there. If I were to download an ISO, I could store it locally. I could store container templates and backup files. So that's just in the local storage versus local LVM. So one's a directory and one's a logical volume, and we can talk more about that. But anyway, that's what you should have to begin with. So you'd go, once again, log into one of your nodes, and you would see the storage link down here somewhere. My storage link was different because I'm already in a cluster. So anyway, click on your node. We're going to click Create VM. You're going to, right now, it can only be on that node. So you can give it an ID if you want. So I'm going to say, I don't know, Windows machine or something like that. And then on the next screen, we can specify what the ISO file is that I should boot from. And we should make sure that if we've stored the ISO locally, great, we could go grab that, but you're supposed to connect to my ISO NFS share, and you should be able to see these. So I'm going to grab them, try Windows 10, and I'm also going to tell it it's Microsoft Windows, and that's the correct version, it looks like. Now we could even use a physical CD, DVD drive, or we could choose not to use any media. I'm going to hit next. Graphic card. Like I say, you can emulate different types of graphic cards, but I'm just going to leave it the default for now. I can emulate different types of SCSI controllers. I'm going to leave that the default as well. Hard disk. I don't know. Let's try SATA device. And where am I going to store it? Now you'll probably only have local store available, which is fine. I actually have an NFS store available, so I can store that virtual machine. And 32 gigs should be fine. What format do we want to store in? We'll just leave it QCOW2 for now. And we can talk about the differences there at some point. Am I going to do any caching? And we can talk about that at some point as well, but we'll just leave that there. CPU, I'm going to give it maybe 3 socket, 2 cores, so I have a total of 8 cores. What type of CPU should I present to Windows? I'll just present the default, and we could present or emulate any one of those, but that should be good. Memory, whatever you think is good. And we could look at how much memory you have in just a second. So I'm going to hit next, and I do want a network device. I typically don't mess with anything here. Later on, we'll mess with the VLAN tag, but pretty much, unless you're doing something weird, occasionally you have to come in and change the type of network device that's emulated and whatnot. So next, and then we'll confirm everything and finish. And then we can see down here in the task pane that it is creating VM105, and it's just creating that little file pretty much. And then we have to do the installation. So as I click on that machine, then I'm going to hit start, and we should be presented with the Windows installer in 1 second. I'll just pop open this console, and then we would work through the Windows installer. So we'll stop there.